Hi friends, today we are going to learn in this lecture what is Fourier's law, what is thermal conductivity K, and what is thermal resistance, what is the effect of thermal conductivity on heat transfer, and what is the effect of resistance on heat transfer, how they are thermal conductivity and thermal resistance are a reciprocal of each other. Okay, we will see that all. So first of all, we will see the Fourier's law of heat transfer and the statement of Fourier's law of heat transfer. Friends, the statement of Fourier's law of heat transfer is when the rate of heat flow is transferred from a simple homogeneous solid, the that is directly proportional to the area and temperature gradient. You know that temperature gradient is del T by del X, and what is del T? Del T is nothing but temperature difference, that is higher temperature, final temperature minus initial temperature. So I will write here the statement of Fourier's law. After that we will move further. The statement of Fourier's law is statement will be written in this following manner: the rate of heat transfer, the rate of heat transfer through a simple homogeneous material, or we can say here component, is directly proportional to first thing, area, which is perpendicular to the direction of heat flow, perpendicular to area A, which is perpendicular to the direction of flow, of heat, and temperature gradient, which is also directly proportional to temperature gradient. Right. According to statement, we can write rate of heat transfer Q equals to okay, directly proportional to the perpendicular. You can understand. Okay, this is the duster, this is the area of duster, and rate of heat transfer should be perpendicular. Means it should be in a right angle. So we can write here rate of heat transfer Q is directly proportional to area into temperature gradient, will be given in the form of del T by del X. Okay, temperature gradient will be given by del T by del X. Whereas this Q is a rate of heat transfer, in watt. Okay, rate of transfer in watt, given by capital letter W. After that, this area, this A is nothing but area perpendicular to heat flow. Area perpendicular to heat flow. Okay, and area will be given in meter square. Okay. After that, this dt is temperature difference. Temperature difference. Okay, that is measured in degrees Celsius or Kelvin. Okay, temperature difference is measured in degrees Celsius or Kelvin. And this dx is nothing but length or thickness. Length or thickness. Friends, you should know. आपको मालूम है जब भी आपको just proportional directly proportional sign you have to remove. Okay, this is directly proportional. Okay, if you want to remove this directly proportionality, you should have to give some constant. आपको क्या कुछ constant देना पड़ता. And we are placing here. Okay, if you want to remove this directly proportional sign, and you are using here equal to sign, that time you have to give some constant. And that constant is nothing but minus k. Okay, we are placing here minus k as a constant, and this k is nothing but your thermal conductivity. This k is nothing but your thermal conductivity, minus k into a dt by dx. Then after, okay, whereas this k is thermal conductivity, this k is thermal conductivity, and this negative sign. Okay, this negative sign is used. The temperature decreases according to the thickness. Okay, of wall. Temperature decreases according to thickness. Temperature decreases according to thickness as thickness increases. Okay. Okay, this is the one slab. Consider this is the slab. Okay, the temperature range will be higher to, this will be the entrance temperature T1, this will be the outlet temperature T2. Then this temperature is decreasing with respect to this length. Okay, or dx. Temperature decreases according to length or this thickness. Okay, dx. That's why we are using here negative sign. Friends, there are few assumptions of Fourier's law, and the assumptions of Fourier law as follows. First assumption is the material or that component should be homogeneous and asymptotic. That material should be homogeneous and asymptotic. Assumptions. Assumptions are, first assumption is the rate of heat flow is under a steady state condition. First assumption is the rate of heat flow is under steady state condition. Okay, this is the first assumptions. Okay, after that we will go for second assumption, and that second assumption is the rate of the material, okay, in which the heat transfer is taking place, that material should be material should be homogeneous and asentropic. Homogeneous and asentropic. Okay, material should be made up of a single component. Okay, that is not a composite or alloy. Okay, asentropic means temperature should be constant throughout. After that, the third assumption of this Fourier's law is temperature gradient is constant. Temperature gradient is constant. Okay, temperature gradient is constant means temperature graph is a linear. Okay, then after fourth assumption is heat flow is unidirectional. Heat flow is unidirectional. That means the heat is flowing in a single direction. Fifth assumption, boundary material is isothermal. Okay, the boundary material where the heat is coming into and it is going outside, that should be isothermal. वो isothermal होना. Okay, these are the few assumptions of Fourier's law of heat conduction. Okay, after that we will see another concept, that is thermal conductance. We will see what is thermal conductance. Okay, you know about the Fourier's law. Fourier's law is well known to you, and that is nothing but Q is equals to minus Ka dt by dx. Okay, the Fourier's law tells that Q is the rate of heat transfer, that equals to minus Ka dt by dx, and according to that we can write here. Okay, according to Fourier's law, Q equals to minus Ka dt by dx. From this, okay, K is your thermal conductivity. What will become? K equals to this. A is here in multiplication, that goes here in division. Q by A. Okay, this is your multiplication, that goes here in division. Okay, or whatever may be the numerator changes to denominator, denominator changes to numerator. Means this will become dx by dt. Okay, and the unit of this thermal conductivity is okay, Q, rate of heat transfer, is measured in watt. Okay, area is measured in meter square into this dx is nothing but that is thickness or length, that is measured in meter, and this dt is temperature. Okay, that is measured in degree Celsius. Okay, this meter get cancelled and the unit will become like as watt per meter degree Celsius, or if you want to take that in Kelvin, then we will put that like as watt per meter Kelvin. Watt per meter Kelvin. Friends, we should have to know the pure metals having high thermal conductivity. Pure metals. Pure metals having high thermal conductivity. High thermal conductivity. Whereas the alloys always having moderate thermal conductivity. Okay, always having moderate thermal conductivity. And the non-metals having low thermal conductivity. And these very low thermal conductor are the insulator of heat. Okay, that are heat insulators. Okay, that are heat insulators. Friends, you should know all these things. The best example of heat insulators are cork. Okay, cork, and okay, there are a lot of examples. Okay, cork, asbestos, okay, glass, wood. You can take a lot of examples. Okay, after that, then we are interested to move thermal resistance. Okay, thermal resistance. Friends, thermal resistance and thermal conductance both are exactly contrast to each other. Okay, reciprocal of thermal conductance is thermal resistance. Okay, thermal resistance is as much important as thermal conductance. Thermal resistance is as much important as thermal conductance. And we see here the thermal resistance. Okay, what is thermal resistance? That is nothing but opposition to the heat flow. Thermal resistance is nothing but opposition to the heat flow. We can see from this. Okay, you know the according to Fourier's law. Okay, rate of heat transfer equals to minus K A dt by dx. Okay, this is known to you. From this equation, what will become? Q equals to, this is here in multiplication, that goes here in division, and that will become dt by dx by k into a. We will remove this sign. Okay, that is not here too much necessary. And this dx by k is nothing but your thermal resistance. Okay, this is nothing but your thermal resistance. Friends, we should know how thermal resistance is as much important as thermal conductance, and this thermal resistance will be given by RTH. Okay, this thermal conductance is given by K, which is inversely proportional to thermal resistance. Okay, RTH. If the material having low thermal resistance, it will have high conductivity. Okay, the material having high conductivity. If the material having high thermal resistance, the material should have low thermal conductivity, because they are reciprocal to each other. Okay, you should know the best example. Okay, this is the pan which is used for making the omelets. Okay, this is the one pan. Okay, and this is made up of steel, and there is one handle. Okay, this is your handle. And this is your pan, and you are supplying heat to this pan. Okay, you are supplying heat to this pan. Okay, you have if you want to make an omelette, that time what will happen? क्या होगा? If this is this pot is made from steel. Okay, from steel material. What will happen? The steel having high thermal conductivity. That's why that get boiled as early as possible. Okay, and this is made from as pork or asbestos. This is made from asbestos. That's why it is having low thermal conductivity. Okay, that's why the heat transfer will not flow towards this end. Okay, that's why we can easily catch this handle. Okay, in this way, the material having high thermal conductivity is as important. This thermal resistance, the material having high thermal resistance, both are equivalent. Okay, both are. अब दोनों को भी क्या सेम इम्पोर्टेंस है, बिकॉज हियर इट इज रिक्वायरिंग फॉर कुकिंग एंड रिड्यूसिंग द हीट बहुत कम लगेगा.